Hey, welcome back to Apollo City Comics. What was it? The tagline again? Was it all average, all new, all average, all Apollo City? Not all Apollo City. It is all Apollo City Comics, but we're working on it. You know how long it took us to get the last slogan down for the show? Months, and we were doing it like weekly. So just saying, first shot, not bad. Hi, I'm your host, Brandon Bloxdorf. And welcome to the show. Everyone, hello. Say hi to our co-host, Eric Allred over here.
Hello, hello.
And then we have Ben Collins right over here.
Hey.
And then we have Javi Martinez right over there.
Hello, hello.
And then we have this guy just special guesting with us because he's an Apollo City Comics member who has a live Kickstarter at the moment, The Remainders, which you can check out. And it's Mr. John O BURKE.
What's up?
Good day, gentlemen. That was a nice little intro, actually. I'm glad that was my description for the intro today. We have some Apollo City Comics updates. We'll just swing right into it. So we have a really cool thing because Outer Space is at the printer. Ben or Eric, you want to tell us about that exciting next chapter in Outer Space?
Yeah, stoked to get it out. The digital rewards have been sent out for issue 1 and issue 2. But yeah, as soon as we get these puppies in our hands, we'll get them in y'all's hands.
Yeah, we just got to check out the proof is the next step. So we'll make sure everything printed the way we want. Excuse me, sound like RFK. The way we want to. And, sorry. Just to make sure that it all looks up to par, which it will be, I think, because we're printing with Comics Wellspring, of course. And they have, I mean, we've printed with them before and been very satisfied. And like, we got a recent batch and it's only gotten better because like we were able to compare it to like an older one. It's like since they've changed over and started moving in this like new direction of theirs, like, it looks better. So very excited to see what they do with our issue 2, just because Jackie's art's awesome also. So
hell yeah.
I have it. It's somewhere. I got it.
I mean,
I got it.
right there.
Eric has it. Well, Eric has it. I tried. It's really exhausting. I was not. I just really, that hurt my chest more than anything.
Yeah, the rebranded
Get
issue 1.
prepared, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the Max Flowers variant in print too.
Some cat ass for
Yes,
It's just
that is beautiful, beautiful.
Booby, come on, decide where you're standing, dude. So I'm so hyped to get to Booby. That keeps on destroying our lineup on this document every time he steps on it. I keep on trying to control Z it. So very exciting, very very hyped about that because Outer Space issue 2 is just like gold. It's honestly, you guys are gonna see it. It's like, wow, dude, what?
Oh, and you can get those on the website, the Apollo City Comics website now.
Right here.
You can order the print for when we get them, or the digital versions to have instantly. That's all I got.
Link.
Love it. Yeah, dude, we do have the policycomics.com where you can get all of the Outer Space merch. What's cool is that Outer Space is going to take over our store. You guys have like more books than like anybody at the moment. You guys are killing it. I'm so lucky. Oh,
That's the plan.
Alien invasion.
The inside out.
I mean, you kind of did that. Like, you guys just joined this year, and now you guys are like co-hosting the podcast, and you guys are doing all the CWS stuff. Like, you guys did take over Apollo. Yeah, that was an invasion. Now that I think about it, I think, holy crap, that's like realizing when you get brain.
It's a collaborative comedy. We just want to be a part of the.
I just had like a bunch of
collaborative
flashes,
comedy.
like me on an operating table, and then Ben and Eric just standing above me, and just like, it's ours, it's ours.
It's like the robot chicken opening.
Just the greatest show of all time. Hands down. Top 3 probably. But aside from that, where are we at here? Okay, cool. Yeah, we could talk about this still. We're lining up 2025. Anything else about outer space, by the way? I'm not too sure. My bad.
No. I mean,
He's like, no. Fuck our comic. We'll move on to
website, like, we don't need to go through. We pushed that and pushed that. So, this is the pod. This is about us. Let's do that.
Let's talk about some potential upcoming releases. We're planning out 2025, and it looks like we're gonna have a really, really busy year. Books that you can expect from Apollo City Comics. We're gonna announce it right here and now, and I'm not gonna give months directly. I'm just gonna let you guys know what book should be coming out next year because I don't want to. Life has a funny way of just changing everything. At least especially when you plan stuff. So, but I can say right now we go back to the remainders. Maybe throw some of the music on there, that timey stuff right here, just for a little bit.
Like a theatrical cue.
Yeah, just letting that play for a second, All right. So you can back that book right now with John O. Burke. We're gonna go all into the remainders in just a few minutes, and we're gonna pick John's brain and analyze it and talk all about this amazing creation that he put together. That I talked him into joining for Apollo finally, but. Right after that, we are potentially launching a book in December. The broadcast. We are launching a book in December. We can actually. The broadcast dialogues by me and Jeremy John Hansen and Bob Little. And Max Flowers, and we all got together and did this really cool sci-fi book that we're going to release online. You could pre-order it, and then we're going to be putting that order and the Campfire Chronicles together and make an order early in the next year, so that we could ship those out as soon as possible and hopefully have them for IC3. But right before that, we're doing the horror anthology, which you could pre-save now. More links. Sorry, Eric, I'm giving you so much to do. We should have counted how many times we did it the first time and see how many more times I do it every episode. And then potentially, actually, almost every gentleman in this room, which is sad. There's a bunch of gentlemen in this room. That kind of sucks. But we're going to be working on we'll be working on a potentially releasing. We will be releasing next year. The We Anthology. That's not the official title, but we're putting together a little stoner anthology. Our first little combination of we'll be announcing the High Adventures of Weed Wizard and Bong Boy, and then we have Javi has a awesome story called Evil High.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, I'm good. And then we'll be hopefully doing a little outer space segment in there too, and a potential bonus story that we're maybe putting into play as well. We will be putting into play. It's actually we're doing
maybe
an outer
preview
space
of Too High to Die.
Oh, maybe a preview of Too High to Die, and then we're looking at a crossover, the first crossover, as we introduce the High Adventures of Weed Wizard and Bong Boy because we're just stoners like that. But we're gonna have a crossover with outer space and Weed Wizard and Bong Boy as well. So that's gonna be really exciting. The first appearance of them and the first crossover at the same time. So super excited about that. And then we also have a bunch of other stuff. Teenage Babylon's finally going to come out, issue 1. Too High to Die by Ben Collins, Eric Allred, and Ryan M. Arnold. Where did I get Michael from? Outer Space number 3 we're looking at releasing next year. It's Probably Nothing by Kai Brown and Hannah Williams. And then we have Hyperforce number 2, and we're going to be rebranding Adam Matthew Smith's other book, Shadows, under the Apollo flagship, and kind of just like what we did with Outer Space number 1 and bring it to everybody. We'll be doing Fake Your Death as well. That book is almost complete, or the first chapter of that book is almost complete. And then we're looking at Alex Batz's Avalon. Oh my gosh, booby. We have this really cool project called the Alchemy Workbook that's going to be coming out. That's for creators. We teamed up with Kai Brown, who did the Shadow Anthology for that. And then we have a French creator that we're working with, Marie Morgan, who is doing a book called Sugar Rush and Bloody S'mores. So we have a whole list of wild stuff coming your way for 2025. And that's over my cap of Apollo updates, which we're going to move right over into the cosmic news. Wow, that was a lot. So cosmic news. I didn't realize how much Apollo was doing next year until I read it out loud. Cosmic news. So I tossed in this wild piece from Bleeding Cool. Really just to like, it kind of threw me off. Sorry, I have to kiss my cat. It's the only way he's gonna leave me out. Yeah, that's the only way I'll get. It's just a thing. He'll just keep headbutting me until I do. But there's some wild stuff on this Bleeding Cool article that we'll probably put in the description right below. You can check out. But guys, what was one of the headlines that stood out to you on this Bleeding Cool 13 pieces of gossip about upcoming DC comics?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that for me, it was the fucking John Constantine one. That one was just so funny to me. I'm just like,
number 3.
Interesting.
Yeah.
John Constantine can smoke on the Watchtower, or at least no one is telling him no. Certainly not the question. Yeah, dude. Does anybody? I don't know the context of this either. Does anybody get where some of this is referencing from?
Like, that's what was a little kind of threw me off. It's like it almost was like just DC being like marketing teases. Although the one that I found the actual exciting was the I'm looking at the list. That's why it was the will the Watchtower get Renee Montoya and Kathy Kane back together, which was like the Batwoman elegy story. You remember that? Greg Rucka, which was like a really great Batwoman run on Detective Comics. And so I was like, maybe they'll do something like along those lines. That would be exciting as far as like actual comic book news. But like some of those are very cryptic. I don't know what's actually going on.
The Nightwing has a new pet straight from We 3.
That was my top
you throw a pet into
that's
that.
the best one.
Yeah.
And Morrison also. So
yeah, dude, I just
We 3 is a fucking tough read, man.
It is. It's honestly like it's crazy. I just bought the hardcover recently. Like I've never owned it physically.
It's
so
tight too. So tight.
Yeah.
Frank Quitely's work in that book is like what made me a Frank Quitely fan. That page where the bullets are just spread, and it's just dude, come on! I'm trying to like work.
What a cool story! I love that. That was one of the like first. Like I found that at a library, and I was like, "What is this?" That started a slippery Morrison slope.
Yeah, it was one of my first Morrison stories too, because I was like, "Oh, this looks cool." I've always wanted to get like tattoos of my animals. Like maybe I'll do that with Spock, but like I've always wanted to do it with the We 3 like mechanical like outfit and whatnot. I always thought that was super rad.
That would be badass. Yeah.
But
good call.
Yeah. Any other highlights on this you guys want to recap real fast? I just think you guys should check out this list and like give us some context if you know anything too. But that We 3 one, that's really why I chose this article, because I just want to talk about We 3 for a second and bring attention to it.
That's just exciting.
A lot of these are pretty weird.
I think the one about Batman and Justice League versus aliens.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like that has to, like they're just making that, right? Kind of like what you're saying. This is just marketing at this point. It's like they're definitely
like there's an Avengers versus aliens going on right now.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool too. I just read the first 2 issues like this week.
The art looks pretty fantastic, and
it's really rad. But that would be, I mean, if Disney was gonna like lend a property, like why not that one out of all of them? You know, it's like you know what I mean? It's like the one thing that doesn't connect to their universe.
Yeah, because Alien is more like Fox than anything, so it's like I can definitely see them being like, yeah, you can use this for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they did a Batman Alien crossover back in the day, didn't they?
Bernie Wrightson, and I forgot who wrote it, but yeah. Just like there was the Dave Gibbons, and
he like goes, "I'm going to enact my plan." Immediately, Batman dead.
I forgot.
Oh God, acid blood!
Batman versus Predator, and then there's a Superman versus Alien too.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that exists. I'm almost positive. There's a really cool Mike Mignola Alien story called Salvation that he drew. That one's sick.
He drew it. I've never seen that because his style I'd really dig in that.
Yeah, it's dope. It's really cool. It's really cool. But yeah, just cool random list. And I just thought, we just have to pull some attention, and it's some mainstream stuff. So we always know that. But one thing about the show I have to say is that, like, we come from this awesome punk rock roots. In fact, our book that launches in January that I did not yet announce, we are in the works. I'm not going to really announce it yet because it's like a very like kind of by mouth thing that we're working on, like, undercover. And just in case I fuck up and something doesn't happen too, which I hope not, or something delays this stuff. But yeah, we're working on this really cool secret project that's going to come out in January that we'll give more insight on. But it just brought us to our next segment of, it lowers my CGC grade. We get like a wah wah.
I have a slide whistle here, actually, somewhere.
I used to play trombone. I should try to like pick it up one day and just record that and just use
Oh, wait, here we go.
Amazing. It's just right there.
That's sitting around. Like that was too handy for you to just reach up and grab.
You never know. You never know.
We'll keep it brief, but comics and punk rock mix a lot of with politics, and our segment today is like, what the fuck is wrong with our country, dude? And I'm just gonna open the floodgates by going to Eric.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure what's wrong with our country. I just think that we need to actually start having more conversations and, like working together and within our community to actually enact change, because I feel like that's where we need to start, and we'll find our community, much like, we
Local
found
stuff.
this comic community, like find your people and keep them safe, I guess is where I'm kind of at.
I told Eric that I saw this on the list. He's like, I don't even want that on the list. I can't do this. I am still grieving. I'm going.
And that's a
through the
great
stages.
reaction. I love that. No, it's true. I feel you there. What's crazy about it is that like it's a really crazy turmoil time that we're gonna end up. It seems that we're gonna like walk into, and it seems like things are gonna be pretty crazy. We don't know how crazy. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know like what balances may be in the future that can halt, delay, stop, alter, or proceed with. And I know everyone gets very. It's a weird time. It's weird energy in the air with stuff like this, and you can feel it across everything. Like, are prices going to go up on stuff, or are they not? It's a new president. A lot of questions that happen no matter what transition there is. But oh really? Dang, my internet just kind of wigged out too right now. That was weird. Yeah, Apollo's like gonna always proceed with like love, and we have a really cool message going your way. A really fun book that we're putting together to help educate and be part of that help and change. Because when I was growing up and stuff like this was happening, I'd refer to punk rock and bands like Anti-Flag, which are kind of like almost a canceled band now, which is real sad. But the people behind it and the message behind it and the like help I found behind that band, and the resources they would give for insight, I always thought were really appealing. And so they're not together anymore. And that was like a band I grew up with bass playing, and just like overall, like, I'm vegan now, but I became vegetarian when I was 16 because of Warped Tour and PETA and seeing Anti-Flag play there and meeting them and everything and cool stuff. And so I felt like the best way for me to like carry on what that band would have done and with that message and that impact, like we would do that at Apollo. And so what's cool about like times like these is that they do seem challenging and kind of wild, but this is the time for us to do stuff and send messages and influence and share cool art and stories and make people realize stuff. And I think if I could have I was impacted by a band, and I think we could impact people through a comic and a message. So we're going to use our avenue and kind of go that way. But I just thought it was kind of important to always remind people that like Apollo is everything we represent. We have a very cool, diverse group of people, and they all have voices to say. And we love to give them an avenue towards that direction too, because we are, we're a punk rock, fun, self-published, to the roots type of company. It's weird calling us a company. That's really odd. That's so
We
funny.
are.
Oh, just wait till Too High to Die comes out. Like it was already like rooted in anti-capitalist. I think we're infused, like we're more energetic now to make it even more ridiculous because that's just real life now.
Yeah,
Where it's-
our satire is no longer satire.
We have to go more hyperbolic.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, and in these turmoil times, we look at things to keep us healthy and distracted and whatnot. So I'm gonna alter the game plan we're looking at, but we're gonna go over a quick our watch list and our reading list because we love giving recommendations and stuff like this. What have kept you guys a little busy? For me, my reading list, I read a fuck ton of Hellboy this last week. Like so much Hellboy. I'm on like volume 8 right now. It's crazy how much you could digest that type of stuff. But that was my top reading recommendation for right now. If you guys want to spit one out,
And his is so digestible; it's so easy.
yeah, honestly,
Yeah, I for myself, I just actually read Hyperforce issue 1, so that was a lot of fun to read. It was very good. And other than that, I've also been reading Understanding Comics since he sent that over. So I've also been reading that. So that's been a lot of fun. Yeah. So those are my 2 recommendations.
comic book readers' first Bible. I feel, you know what I mean. Like I feel like that's your. Oh, you want to know the game, son? Like this is what you give. Like
Just a dude slinging out copies.
Yeah,
It's weird how much like little insight though. That's like, oh yeah, that is like, I can think about that in a different way now.
Yeah.
yeah. It helps you like recognize stuff, I guess, a little bit more.
It's very interesting because there's stuff that's like working on you all the time and you don't realize it, and then you read it in the book
Exactly.
and you're like, oh, that's why that happens when I read.
Exactly.
Mhm. Eric, you got a rec.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really have enjoyed The Pedestrian. I think that I've just finished issue 3 of that. It's kind of like a unique superhero story, I guess. It seems kind of like
Gorman.
no, it's Joey. Oh no, yes, it is. Yes, Gorman. Yeah, and then Joey Esposito. Very
Joey,
funny.
Yeah.
Very
I hung
funny.
out with them at Baltimore, and I know John from
very cool.
like San Diego a few years ago too. Great dudes. We hung out like when we went to the Ringos this year. Really awesome dudes.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm
Very
always
cool,
around
very
them. Really good people. Chris, dude, I always fuck up Chris's name. I can't think of it. I have to read his name because it's like Mr. Mitowicz. I love you, Chris. You're not gonna listen
Mr.
to this anyways.
Mitchell.
You know who he is. That's sick. What about I don't know what I've been watching lately. I was trying to think. Actually, I went through a fun like sweep. Have you ever guys seen The Player? Any of you guys watched that movie before?
Robert Altman.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The Hollywood.
Eric's definitely seen all the
exploration.
Altman.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's
man,
a good
I just
one.
saw it. So
Tim-
good. That's my big
Tim Rob- Tim
I don't know.
Robbins? Not Tim Robbins.
Not
Okay,
Tim
I
Robbins.
don't think I've seen that one.
What's his name? Susan Sarandon's ex-husband.
Yeah, that's right.
Tim Robbins and Susan Sarandon.
Oh, that's it. It
the
is. Tim
reason I can't find my list.
Good actors.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
very
dope
funny
movie.
movie.
If you guys if you haven't seen it, dude, I highly recommend. Holy crap, it was so
Yeah.
good.
I saw The Menu finally.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was
Oh, dude, the
like-
menu's so good. Oh, I love
Yeah,
that movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
like immediately
one.
off the bat from like the opening scene, I was not sold on it. I was like, but like after that opening scene and as it progresses, I was like, you know what, this is
I felt
actually
the same
pretty
way.
good.
I think that
Yeah.
like is how you're supposed to feel.
Yeah, it's like I think they want like it's like they're almost trying to trick you into thinking the movie's gonna be something else. And it's
Exactly.
just- so for that I have to give it kudos for. So that was pretty good.
I did enjoy that one.
Two more random ones just because I love suggesting like the older movies I watch, but I also watched The Jerk. Have you guys ever watched The Jerk?
Oh, that's one of my Thanksgiving movies, man. I love that one.
So good, so good. That's like on. If you
Somebody hates these cans.
you gonna stay
Sorry.
this color forever? Like I love
Steve
it.
Martin's one of the all-time just like funny guys, I think.
Yeah.
Like his stand up, like one of the original stuff he'd do with like the arrow through his head was like,
Yeah.
that shit was gold.
No,
He's
yeah,
good.
honestly, I have his book. I haven't Born Standing Up. I don't know if you guys have read it. I've never read it.
Like he's gotten a little melancholic in his later years with some films he's done and worked on and stuff, but he's man.
But he has so much work too. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. He's
Like
just a
Shop
guy
Girl's
that
kind
just
of weird.
yeah. But I respect the hell out of Steve Martin. He is like he's not like
me too.
Chevy Chase. You know what I mean? Like Chevy Chase, like was a good guy, and then
No one wants to be like Chevy Chase.
But also Clue. I just showed my girlfriend Clue for the first. She had
man.
never. I think she saw it
Classic.
once, but dude, I fucking love that movie, dude. Like that's
pure
just
comedy. The documentary about it on Amazon's pretty good too.
Oh, there's a
There's
documentary.
like,
What the fuck?
yeah, about how it like came together. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, I want to watch that. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I might be watching that tonight. I'll speak in documentary. I watched Joe Strummer, The Future is Unwritten. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that. Dude, fucking top tier if you just want to know about Joe's background, his like how the Clash came together, like the impact it had on him personally, and like why the Clash fell apart and what he did on his off years. But yeah, no, Joe was I mean, he's like my go-to guy. So I mean, a lot of people
I don't know. The Clash, I'm sort of like on the other side of them. I'm not really. I feel like they've sort of. I don't know. I think their legend is like more than they were.
Okay.
Hot take. Hot take.
Yeah, hot take. Whoa. We don't have a segment for this.
Like, listen to some stuff that like they were influenced by. I don't know. Okay, we don't have.
Go on. No,
You're not wrong.
I think well, besides being a Clash fan, I will also recommend that kind of thinking about like the political like state of everything. The Boys, I've finally been watching season 4 of that, and that's been really good. And just I've been really liking that a lot.
Pretty fucking disgusting, but yeah.
It's so gross, dude. Season 5 will
then?
come out next year, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, season 4 is the current one, or finished at the moment. But yeah,
I think I only saw part of season 4. I don't think I definitely haven't finished it. But yeah, I love The Boys. That shit's
yeah. I was
Yeah,
like
I like
watching
The Boys.
that on like a flight, and like it was a super late flight, and I was like, I'm not gonna stay up for these episodes. I binged the whole flight just watching the season. I was like, this is so good. It's been so
that was pretty
solid.
fun. Did you watch the Gen V?
I did.
Yeah,
It was
so
also
good.
really good.
I'm glad I watched it. I highly recommend Gen
Yeah.
V. I don't think you got enough attention for what
that
it's
show's
That
worth.
was
also
pretty
really
good.
good.
It had like especially if you're like an X-Men fan, like it has a like
Mhm.
a play
Oh,
on.
yeah.
It feels like it's a play on that in a way, you know.
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to say anything.
I also rewatch Happy Gilmore because they're making the sequel to Happy
Is
Gilmore.
that-
Oh, they are?
Is that true?
Yeah.
They really
Yeah.
are
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
that?
Yeah, man, they're making the sequel to Happy Gilmore. So I
was
rewatched the
good.
first one the other night. That
used to
shit
watch
was
that a
fun as hell.
Yeah,
Interesting. I
yeah.
didn't know that.
And you forget about some of the smaller bits that are really funny in that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that are just so like random and just out of nowhere. Like at the end when he's looking up at the house and he's like he sees Chubbs out like floating over the house and he's next to someone else and fucking Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham
Oh yeah, it's the crocodile.
Yeah.
that
The
killed-
crocodile.
the crocodile, Chubbs, and Abraham Lincoln. It's like, why? Whose decision was this? And it's so bizarre, but it's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, even the like the relationship between the jackass guy and Shooter, I find that really funny. He's like, "Yeah, you want to go grab a bite to eat?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, fuck off."
It's pretty good.
You guys like
But he like
Happy
worships
Gilmore? Do you prefer Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison? What's your
Happy
Happy
Gilmore.
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I used to really like Billy
Eric's a
Madison,
Billy
but like
Madison.
I like
I think
Billy
it's
Madison.
too
I think
close
it's silly.
to. I think it's too close to Adam Sandler as a real person. I'm like, I don't want to
Yeah.
fucking know this guy.
I mean, yeah.
There's
No, I
like
just
no
think
real
it's-
acting in that movie. though.
I really like Norm Macdonald and
Oh,
outside
I
of
do
the
agree.
Swizzle
I
stick
love Norm.
bit, and I think that's isn't the Swizzle stick bit in Happy Gilmore? Like he's like the bartender, and he's like, if you don't walk away, I'm going to take this swizzle stick and stick this up your urethra. Am I crazy?
I don't remember.
No,
Is that dirty work?
That's dirty work.
No, because he's not the bartender in Dirty Work. He's the main guy in Dirty Work.
Yeah,
not-
right.
I think that might have been. I don't
Okay,
think
you
that was
might be
Happy
right.
Gilmore.
I'm Googling it, but I like Norm Macdonald, and I like that's just the silliness. I mean, he's talking with shampoo and conditioner. Come on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I loved it. It's just I think I prefer Happy Gilmore.
I think I saw Happy Gilmore first as a kid, and I watched my cousin come to the point of peeing his pants watching that movie. So it's like that one got me from a young age. So I think that the jokes have resonated forever.
Deuce Bigelow is the swizzle stick thing, by the way.
That movie's so bad. I haven't had any desire to watch that movie.
Rob Schneider is kind of a piece of shit too. So
Yeah,
he doesn't seem
Is he?
great.
Yeah.
yeah, he's
surprised.
like kind of a super right wing.
Ooh.
Yeah, like
We
his
know who
jokes.
he
He's
voted
like
for.
his jokes are like trans people make me uncomfortable. Jokety joke.
I will say, speaking of trans people, I also just rewatched The Birdcage the other night, and that movie is phenomenal.
Love
If
the
you
Birdcage.
so funny. I don't know if you
Man,
guys, have
you're
you
in
guys
like
all
a
seen
streak
it?
of classic comedies, man.
Dude, no lie. Also, we watched Office Space this week, and so
Bad movie.
that's just
Oh God, I'm old. That's a classic. Damn.
that's such a good.
We
I guess Role Models is a classic.
Yeah, I guess so now too.
We recently watched Dog Day Afternoon.
Ooh,
that was my
not
first time
funny
watching
at all.
it. No, not funny at all. Not funny at all. But damn, does Al Pacino have some charisma, man? That guy
I was
is
just
so
talking
charming.
about Pacino,
Yeah. He is,
but also
charming
such a
dude.
ham.
Yeah.
You're gonna look
It's
at me when the camera's over here, okay?
Yeah. I love
Serpico, man.
I love the fucking officer who's running the whole thing, and he's just when he doesn't want anyone to pull the guns on him, he's like, put your fucking guns down, I got no guns on me, and he's just everyone's so animated in
I
that
need to
movie,
rewatch
it's
that.
insane. That shit is
that-
really good.
Who directed that, Eric? Is that Peckinpah?
I forget.
No.
I thought you would know. I thought you
Not
would.
off the top
I'll-
of my head. It is, because I'm right here, Sidney Lumet.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know which direction to take it in, but I'll give my last two movies we watched this week. But it was Galaxy Quest.
That's one of my. That's an all-time favorite of mine because I'm a
Dude, it's
Star
so
Trek
good.
fan too. That's a really, really good
It's a-
movie. And there's
it's a
another
really silly
documentary
movie, too.
about that movie that's really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's fantastic.
Where's this one?
I think
at?
it might be on Amazon.
I gotta find both of these, dude. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to listen back to our episode just to remember that too. And then we watched that Zodiac 3-part
The Zodiac
documentary.
tapes.
Yeah,
No.
the new one, whatever just came out on HBO Max, were the closest they've come to who it is. And then we watched
Yeah.
the movie afterwards, and we've been wanting a David Fincher role this year.
Yeah, I really like
although-
that Zodiac.
The
David
rape
Fincher.
scene in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a little too much. I kind of it's a little there's a little much, Fincher. Come on. But other than that, it's always a top tier time watching a Fincher film.
I remember I saw Seven at really early, young age, and that should not have happened.
Oof.
Oh, dude, it took me. I only saw that
But-
4 years ago, I think.
Yeah. It-
Great.
I mean, I really liked it. Yeah, I liked that movie growing up, but
It's always raining
there's
in
some
that
parts in it that are I have that really fucked me up. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. That's I first learned about things in that movie in a way I should not have learned about.
It's in
Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh, I'm remembering
dildos with
now.
knives on them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
an Adventure Time when Finn sees some really fucked up shit, and he just points to his head, and he's like, and in the vault, and he just forgets about it.
Exactly.
Oh man, Jesus.
Oh man.
Um,
So I guess even though we're past Halloween, on Halloween I watched Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh yeah, I have it on
and
DVD.
it was a lot of fun. It was, I think Eric said that's basically a Looney Tune. When I told him I watched that, I was like, yeah, it is. And it's like, it holds up if you like watch it for what it is. Like it's, and the makeup of the troll is pretty great. You can clear, like if you see the bottom half, it's clearly like a suit on top of a guy. But like the suit itself is pretty good. And like it terrified me as a kid. It was horrified, like turn you into these pieces of wood. Eartha Kitt's in it. Pretty great.
What did you guys? I forgot this aired. The first episode aired on Halloween. What did you guys do on Halloween? Well, I know what Ben now did.
Watch her in a scared suit. Handed out candy.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah,
Handing out candy.
I fought through the Halloween parade here in Manhattan. That was really difficult to get through. All the like, because like when the parade happens here, all the trains run differently, and like not all the stops are open, and the certain exits and whatever. And it's just, and I was with my dog, like, and there's just 1,000,001 people, and I'm just like, I just need to get through this one night, and I'm good.
None of us understand your plight, New York.
And you and your dog were dressed up like Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah, we were Ghostbusters.
That was so cute. That was so cute.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah,
we should post a picture. Like you should send a picture.
Send a picture.
Boom.
Yeah.
And
John, what did you do?
Yeah, I handed out candy too. It was pretty boring, but well, it wasn't that bad because I have a gorilla mask and I like to scare the shit out of little kids with it when I give it. But,
I also had a gorilla mask that I wore.
Oh.
Is it a pretty good one? Mine is actually kind of like upsetting to look at.
Yeah, I thought I had it right here. It's fucking horrible. I scared myself.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I did recently rent a movie. I'm curious if you guys saw. Did you see? I'm way behind the 8 ball, but Long Legs.
Oh,
haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I rented it and it was pretty good actually. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure what the hell happened at the end there, but it was. I was genuinely pretty terrified during that movie.
Yeah, very unsettling.
Yes,
very unsettling.
The sound was really good too. The sound design in it.
The cinematography was also amazing. Holy shit!
Check that out.
I'll probably watch it soon, but no, I have not watched that one. Yeah.
They used Nick Cage like the exact amount that you should use Nick Cage.
Yeah, anymore.
Every scene, 100% all the time.
Well, I mean, you gotta go one or the other. You either put just enough to like remind you that he's there and upset you, and then bring him back, or you have him nonstop the entire time.
Ha ha! Just caging out.
That's dope. I went to this like an hour away. There's Leesburg, and so I went to this like Harry Potter Forbidden Forest trail, and it's like this entire decked out thing where you like you could get. I mean, honestly, I went 2 years ago and it was kind of like a little bit cooler, but like you go through like this entire like it's like a mountain trail at night, and it's all lit up and like with like it's like Virginia trees, and it's all gorgeous because the nature around us and whatnot. But then it's all thematic and everything, and it's like cool sounds and everything, and you're all stoned and you're just like, oh, this is so rad. Like and then you get to like cast spells and everything. So it's like really cool and like nostalgic and whatnot. And it takes like an hour to like almost walk through or so. So it's like a fun little like treat we get. And so going on Halloween's kind of rad although this Halloween, dude, it was 70 degrees. Talk about fucking climate change. This whole year, even every day, it's been like 15 degrees above last year. I don't know if you guys look at numbers like that, but it's been terrifying.
I feel sorry for the environment next year. Starting next year, shit's gonna get rolled back.
Next year is when the happening actually happens.
And it was 80 degrees here in New York on Halloween. I was like, yo,
Jesus.
this is, and I was in that, and I was in that jumper all day. I was like, yo,
and going through the subway, just dying. Oh man,
I was like, it was so hot. I was like, this is not fun.
Even your dog was
think
like,
it's colder
"Fuck you,
here."
dude." Like,
it was colder there. Oh my god.
Yeah, here in the great state of Arkansas.
That's terrible.
Yeah, dude. And I'll say one thing that also happened on Halloween. It was by Washington Square Park, where some guy was pranking people, where he was dressed up as a bush and hiding by like the little like tree plots and stuff and just like reaching out at people, and he had someone else recording it, and I was just walking down the street and just there I was, and then the dude just jumps out at me mid conversation. I was like, oh shit. He started laughing. I was like, I turn around, I'm like, you got me, you motherfucker, you got me, I see you. So we'll see if
they
that
used to
pops
do
up
that
on the
like
internet.
in neighborhoods and shit, but like I don't see that anymore, like out in neighborhoods, like people interacting and that kind of thing, like as much.
Yeah, no, that was I was pretty I was happy about it. I was like, you know what? I got pranked. This is good.
I mean, the classic for when I was growing up was like the scarecrow sitting outside the door that didn't move until you walked back by, and then
Right.
You just sat there the whole fucking time, you dickhead. I'd poke some of them. They just took it. I poked them.
Some good actors.
No, I'm on to you.
Oh man. Damn, I couldn't. I was trying to find a segue through all of that, but I was really holding on to one from the happening. So speaking of the happening, I'll tell you guys what's happening. And that's the Kickstarter with John O. Burke and the remainders. I really couldn't think of, you guys kept on talking. It broke my heart. That conversation was ending. I was really holding on to
just
that.
like Eric just cuts out that bit right after that was weird, but I guess it works.
Just paste it somewhere else in the episode. But John, tell us, now that our highs have all balanced out and we could talk better. John, tell us about your Kickstarter going on, the remainders, and why you joined Apollo City Comics.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for the smooth transition into the old Kickstarter pitch. So the remainders, it's a story. It's a space western kind of story about a outlaw family that lives on a world that is completely overrun with garbage. Yeah, we came to Apollo City. I don't know. We've been talking forever, and you've been just you've had me on the line for a while, and I just we've been working on this book for the better part of a year, and just seemed like a natural fit. I think it fit in. It's very it's got some sort of underground punk vibes to it that I think melts in with what you got, and there's a sci-fi element too. But yeah, it's I don't know, the story seems kind of like it's getting more and more pertinent over time, but yeah, it's live on Kickstarter, and we're cruising right now. We're just about to, I think we've been like cusping on hitting the goal for like 3 days. We've been edging. It's crazy.
Honestly, I'm gonna check the results right here. We'll even pop them up, dude. We are just like right there. Like
it's
somebody...
a distant planet, or it's just Earth, like
Just
in a
a
distant
future.
Oh no, it's actually Earth. It is actually, spoilers. It is 100% Earth. Yeah, I say space western, but it's mostly all on Earth. Yeah, it's just destroyed.
That makes sense. Makes sense. So I was like, when you're overrun with garbage, it's got to be Earth.
It's too real, dude. Like it's something that I can't help but think about all the time, because in like day-to-day life, there's just so much disposable shit that we go through, and like plastic bottles and everything. It's like, you drink a cup of water and you're like, now this exists for 1,000 years because I was thirsty one time. And like,
and I try so hard to like do the right thing, and it's like every single thing in life, there's like something like that.
Yeah,
I can't control it all.
Yeah, like, and everything's pre-packaged because it's the only efficient way to ship to people, because there's so many fucking people on the planet, and the food comes from all over. It's like, I don't know, we're just still working out answers, and
not to mention the food.
Yeah, right.
Like the food waste is horrible, right?
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, that shit's always in the back of my mind. So that was a big part of. I was actually originally writing it as like this weird like cult story where this guy was finding a cult that lived in this place of garbage, and I found myself like way more sympathizing with the people that lived in the garbage, and I was like, I think that's actually what this story's about. And so then it started to sort of turn there and spun.
So interesting. Oh man, that's cool to hear. That's a cool little segment. Dude, yeah, honestly, like that's what resonated so much with me with this story. When you first showed me the script, I was super hyped to read it, because I was like, this talks about, like ramifications of our future, and I've always tried to, like do my best at like playing a part in like what we were just talking about. Dude, it was 15 degrees like above the temperature every day. Like it's super hot. You guys should all go vegan. Bam, go vegan right here, big letters.
It's hard to do it in some places. Just saying.
All right.
Arkansas doesn't cater to the vegan.
Eat more plant-based. That's what we'll put right here. Eat more plant-based. There you go. Sorry, Eric. Yeah.
Tyson's chicken is based here. Just saying.
Like we're the home. Just letting you know. That's where it all comes from.
Processed chicken.
That's us.
And it's funny because John's a butcher too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, me and Brent are gonna have a sitcom. We've decided.
Yeah, we're gonna be roommates or something.
Just
man.
Oh man, I can see the
It's Friday
promo of
night
you, like you
again.
guys, like pointing at each other, like back to back. This guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
With the Beyond Burgers, am I right?
John has like pig's brains hanging off of his shirt and just like always covered in blood, and I'm just
That's
like,
gonna be like the opening. You're gonna be playing that like awesome music, and he like has the pig blood. And you walk in, you're upset, and then you both smile and like. And it,
oh, you.
Sorry,
or the dog
Brandon
comes and like eats
Bloxdorf.
it up or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fucking, and they're just like, oh, like,
Party
yeah.
laughter. Oh man, I watched that.
Yeah, honestly, we got to make a little segment. Eric, when we visit, we're all going to film this. This is writing this down.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude,
The book though is like glorious. It's pretty, so beautiful.
Yeah, it is the
We should
most
talk
beautiful
about
book.
Kieran,
It's like the most beautiful book about garbage you'll ever read. You know what I mean? Like, it is. It's
almost
rad.
like that. It's like adds to the story because you get like the most beautiful artwork you can, and then you're telling the story about the garbage, right? So
Yeah,
like,
totally.
this great juxtaposition.
It makes
And-
complete sense because it's like those characters are the ones that you sympathize with. You know what I mean? Like they're sort of just victims of circumstance. You know, like we don't ask for this shit to happen around us, but they're just making do the best. And Kieran totally, I think, got that like right away. And so I think that he put the same kind of care for that story when creating the pages. And like there's all kinds of like, as much as it's the pages are like a mess, literally, like there's so much care and like things that we love in the garbage, and it's like it's just everything.
Cool.
Yeah, that's super dope. Honestly, like what was the other tagline I used for it? Finding beauty in a garbage world, which is like very resonant with like what's happening today, which is why we also launched the campaign on election day. And it was a really awesome turnout on election day on our campaign, at least. And
that took me a sec.
Too soon.
Too soon. Oh, sorry. But then, like, we didn't think about the ramifications if things went wrong, and we couldn't like want to promote for. We didn't expect like
going live and shit. We're like,
yeah.
you guys are busy.
So you guys want to play my comic? So I know we're all fucked, but do you want to, before paper prices get any higher, buy my comic? That's what you're saying.
No, for real.
That actually is something that like I thought about like ranting about in the news section, because specifically if things he said go into policy, like ink, paper, a lot of that comes from China, and it's going to be like make comics more expensive, making comics more expensive traditionally, and it's just scary.
Yeah, we might take a hit. So buy as many digital books from us as you can because that really helps us.
Or buy as many physical right now. Right now.
Honestly, get them now before we double our prices in 2026.
Everyone is doubling them, by the way.
Buy now before they double in
scary.
Price. Eric, this is buy now before they double in price.
Maybe.
Doesn't really seem like the best marketing.
It takes time, It takes time.
Be fine.
Yeah.
That was just something that like really specific to comics that kind of worried me. Among everything else, of course.
Yeah.
Is that what lowers your CGC grade?
That lowers my CGC grade. like America's CGC grade totally down
America's
from like we were up in we were at a 7-ish. Like I thought we could be there in the 7s. We're down into like 4.8 maybe. We could be lower.
Damn.
We got
And,
big
like, not
corners. We got
even-
spine damage for sure.
You know what
Faded
sucks is
lettering.
that it's not like a good like golden age or silver age
Crinkly
like 4.8.
edges.
It's like a shitty modern 90s like 4.8
Right.
where you're just
It's some like
bad,
90s
like,
comic.
it's like
There's, like,
rotting
weird
in the
bouncers,
It's
space.
like
on the pages
Yeah.
too.
There's a bubble.
Yeah.
There's definitely a bubble. Like from
There's a
CGC,
bubble, yeah.
You know, like
there used to like there was like a warranty card or something that used to be in it. They pulled out. It's not there. Like, you know, they used to keep that like those pieces in there. It's always worth more if you keep like this shit in there. Gone. Pull it out.
but to,
I don't even know
so-
why they fucking mounted this as a CGC. Why'd you even slab America?
Slap America.
just pass it down to the next generation. Like
What a niche stand-up bit for like people that just for like people that know like about collecting comics. Like, yeah, slab. I have a slab comic. Okay, let's move on.
I guess to circle back around, Kieran's art's really amazing. Yeah, definitely.
You know,
Transitions, baby.
I was gonna say,
I would slab that work for sure.
Oh, slap it.
So hard.
but for in terms of the art, I like just even from the little sneak peeks and stuff that's been posted, it reminds me so much of like Ryan Brown's art. Like not necessarily in the same style, but more so of like just the attention to detail to everything. Like if you guys read like 8 Billion Genies, there's like crazy insane spreads and stuff where it's like your eye is just darting all over the page looking at all the little notes and details and stuff, and I could immediately get that off of like the sneak peek so far. I'm like, yo, this looks sick. The art is sick.
Yeah, when I first talked to Kieran, he was like, that was one thing that he said. He was like, I'm really into like telling stories, you know, visually, like with details and background and stuff, and like letting all those details fill out and tell stories. And I was like, that was what made me think like this guy's gonna be perfect for this story. It's gonna like,
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, and a lot of it too is just finding people and you know that fit a story and like that can work with the story that you have, and then you know, providing a space for them to flourish in. I just thought that he would do really well with it, and he's fucking annihilating it. So
what
was
about Rob Jones? My bad, Javi. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, no.
oh yeah, Rob, dude, Rob is
Such a
sick.
good
Rob is like the coolest guy ever. I worked with him on an anthology. I was part of this Discord that was like a United Kingdom comics anthology, and I just didn't tell anyone I was American for a while. I was like, I'm from New England.
I'm from England.
And he ended up and so I did eventually come clean because I was spelling color wrong. I was like but
there were signs.
Exactly. He lettered a story that I did on there, and I remember he had like a really good sense of timing, and like it was like a comedic story, and he like nailed all the beats really well. So he was the first person that came to mind, and yeah, he's the man.
Is he a letterer? Is that what this is?
Yeah, he's the letterer. Sorry. He writes too, but he does a lot of letter. He's done books with like Image and BHP and stuff.
That's right.
I did. Hitomi, I don't know if you read that one. He lettered that. I remember because I didn't know that he did it. I
remember it. I remember it.
Yeah, but yeah, he's if you ever need books lettered, like he's super affordable and super fast, super professional, wicked nice guy.
That's awesome.
So,
Oh yeah,
it's like mentioning like the comedic timing. Like that's something I feel like that probably doesn't get thought about, even as a writer, because I letter our book because we needed to save money. I learned to letter. Putting it in as a letter, and you're like, man, I got to move this around to make this bit work, to make it funny, because like the way that it like we wrote it, we wanted the beat to hit here, and like that we didn't put this dialogue in the right spot, or we had to split it here and here. So like having someone that understands that, especially in a comedic book, is really important.
Yeah, it's really hard to nail comedy in comics because it's like it's so timing oriented, and so many things have to go into place to control that timing perfectly, you know. So like everybody has to be on the same page. But when it hits, like funny comics are fucking hilarious. But you know,
like, laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Like I was actually gonna bring this up even before you mentioned comedy, but you were saying about how like your whole journey of the story you want to tell changed as you were writing it, and that was similar to how Sex Criminals kind of started off, like, or Sex Criminals was very much just like a love story, but then or more of like a bank robbing thing, and then it turned into a love story. And it turned into a love story by the end of it. And I read a lot of newsletters about how Matt Fraction talked a lot about that, of how like as he was making it, the whole thing just kind of changed throughout every issue. And so it's just, I think like a lot of writers kind of get stuck sometimes of being like, this is what the story is, and they kind of venture off of that without realizing they ventured off from it, and they don't know how to like recuperate or pull it back or change it.
Right.
Yeah, that was something that was like when I went to school for writing, we did a lot of literary fiction, and they were very much hammered home like you need to give this story space to like grow and change and become what it's supposed to be, and like let it be as loose as possible. Maybe to like a detriment, you know what I mean? Because it can be really hard to work like quickly that way, because it takes a lot of time to like revise something and then like see that this is going in a direction that's not going to work and go back and forth. But it can reap some really cool rewards if you're willing to put the time in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we definitely like, you know, one thing that really attracted like me to you and like in general, like you're a good looking guy. But you know, you spent the night that one time, you know, it was really magical.
Oh dude, not on air, come on.
But like your love for craft, I just like really admired, and that's something I always really, even talking to Ben and Eric and Javi, like I think that's something that's brought us all together, was our ambition and our wanting to learn and get better at the craft. And we're all like constantly researching and like looking for examples and like, you know, trying to get better at just the craft of what we do. It's more than just like having fun and making comics. Like to us, it's like something we want to master and get good at and focus on and everything. But yeah, no, I think, you know, what you do and how you've been growing, especially like I read the routine and that was like mind boggling to me. I was just like, I can't believe an indie creator is like doing this. It was the same thing when I read Outer Space the first time. I was like, this is brilliant. Like, holy shit. Like this first issue, like the writing just like blew me away. And I just love like reading creators like that did that. And then like Javi's just passion for like growing and trying to find, you know, constant, like, you know, he's developed his own style that stands out from almost like anyone else, like a staple in his own way. But you know, diving into your craft and figuring out, I hate saying your voice because it's such like a shitty, I never understood what your voice meant when they said, oh, I'm trying to find my voice, try to like look for your voice. Like you just like fucking write or do what you do. You just have to do it over and over. And like, just, I guess it becomes your voice. I guess that's the whole fucking point of that.
Well, yeah. It just comes naturally over time as you learn, right? Like I don't.
Yeah.
If you go, it's one of those like cliches. Like if you go looking for it, you're not going to find it, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you're trying to chase and be like, what am I trying to sound like? No, you just like, and I've kind of realized with my writing in that sense where I'm just like, I'm just gonna fucking write from like what sounds okay in my head, like, and that's what you do when you're finding your. I guess, wow, am I discovering stuff? This is therapy at the moment. Like, I think I'm like realizing, finding my voice. This is why you wait to the end of the episode. You just skip the beginning and then you go to the good stuff. And then like finding your voice is really about like just writing whatever's in your head, like how you speak and like what you do and like how you format your story and how you play it out. Like you follow the core structure, but like you know what comes out, that's your voice. Like don't you want to try to mimic and imitate and pull from, but like it's just like with art, you know, you're channeling it through your head. So when you're writing, it's just like no one's going to realize you're pulling from all these authors and whatnot, and like in general, unless you're doing like, you could tell.
Sometimes they're pretty blatant, yeah.
Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Eric and I sometimes are just like, "Hey, we're doing this." Hey.
yeah. And that's like typical, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. It's my voice. That's my voice. Of,
I think that's like a great way of putting it too. It's just like, you know, I've always kind of seen it as, you know, again, finding your voice, and just also even in finding my own style in art and things like that, that's just something you have to kind of just keep doing. It's one of those things you just have to keep doing every day. And like, that's like the hard part. You got to keep doing it. But like, it is one of the most rewarding things when like, once you kind of almost like get like unlock the code a little bit, it's like you have like a little bit of the sauce and you're like, oh my God, I'm actually like doing it. And that shit's, it's such a rewarding feeling.
And I think you realize you have it when you could just like pick it up and do it. You know what I mean? Like I could return to an issue or a script for any of my series and be like, all right, let's get rolling. And then I can just pump it out. Like I know I just get on the bike and I'm going. And that's your voice. Like Javi, you have a voice. You know when you start sketching out a thing, I mean, your style is so distinct. Like you could tell like when you're approaching a piece. And I think that's when you really understand. For me, maybe if I'm thinking of this right.
It's funny though, because like you want to have your voice, but it's almost the same as like my actual voice. I fucking hate it sometimes if I hear it, and so I gotta like that's like part of like the rewriting and shit. Like no, that's garbage. Like sometimes it's not always like perfect, right? Like it's all part of the process, chiseling away.
Yeah, and I mean that's why you have editors and like feedback and like partners, writing partners. You realize like they have to tell you this sucks. Like, but yeah, I don't know. That's I think that's our show. I think that's our episode. I think that's a good roundabout point. That was Crafting Our Craft, brought to you by us. Sorry, I was also rolling a joint that like entire time I was saying all that. So like,
wow, that's impressive.
Multitask over here.
So I got like a lot of moments. But we did. I was gonna make a Kanye joke, but I hate Kanye now because he's terrible. But that can we get much higher? That was always such a fun. Sad. Rip. But guys, any last words for our audience, whoever they
are? Check out the remainders. Right?
Check out the remainders.
Great message. Good catch. That's what we should all be saying right now. That should be the only message. Check out the remainders. Bam. And you know what?
I mean, yeah.
With that,
from there you can branch into Apollo City. So
yeah, the remaining. After that, you could branch into the remaining.